What's up, guys? Anthony here, the sous chef over at Vernon's Speakeasy. Today we got a two-part series on burgers. The first part being how to build the patty. The second part being how we cook the burger here at Vernon's. To get into it, we use filet scraps, which are filet mignon, ribeye scraps, New York. So that's where we get our fatty ends of meat and our leaner ends of meat. So it's going to be very tender, and it's going to be more, it's a softer cut of beef. Also, one thing you'll notice is the grind that we have is a lot more coarse, and it's not as bright pink as you would normally find at a package at a store, mainly being because we dry age our beef. It's actually wet aged, and then it oxidizes and dry ages a little bit, and the blood just comes out of it. So it's gonna have this duller pink, little oxidized bits, but that's where all the flavor's at. I mean, there's nice fat ratio in here. This is honestly perfect because you can mold it into whatever you like. Meatballs, meatloaf. I believe we ran a meatloaf here a long time ago. Today we're gonna be doing a green chili cheeseburger and a little bit fancier burger that I had come across in LA. But for right now, I want to focus on the green chili cheeseburger, mainly being because we're in New Mexico. We have access to great green chili. I prefer to use chopped green chili. It's a little bit hotter, and I think it just has more flavor than turning it into a green chili sauce. With that being said, I'm going to separate this beef into another bowl so I can start adding the ingredients for the patty. The patty is going to be green chili and caramelized onion infused. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it here on how big I want the patties to be. I'm going to make 2 patties. I personally feel the best cheeseburger or kind of burger is a roadside burger, which are usually smaller. You know, you have a nice bun, which we'll get into as well, but it's an infused patty. So that means that I add some of the ingredients now to incorporate it into the beef. And that's gonna be our green chili, Cajun, salt and pepper, and a caramelized onion. These are about a tablespoon each. I'm not going to put a tablespoon of kosher salt and pepper in there, obviously. But for 2 patties, we're going to go ahead and go with the tablespoon of caramelized onion and that green chili. Because again, we're going to add more of this stuff when it comes time to cook. The Cajun, I will be a little bit more liberal. Our Cajun seasoning here is a little bit special. It's got your usual cumin, garlic powder, onion powder, some cayenne, paprika, dried thyme, a little bit of dried rosemary, and it's got a little bit of lavender in there that is called herbe de Provence. And that's the little secret for the Cajun. Basically my aromatics, right? I'll take about that much, tablespoon and a half maybe. And I'm gonna pre-salt only to start the marination and releasing the rest of the moisture as salt normally does. So I'm gonna go ahead and start mixing that. And again, when I'm talking about the coarser grind that we use, this is gonna take a little bit more work. So I prefer to leave the beef out at room temperature because it'll really help loosen up that fat, the heat from the heat from your hand and the friction of moving all this meat will start to warm up that fat, release those oils, and make it a lot easier for you to form a patty. A lot of people talk about overworking the beef. I mean, that is true, but if you throw this in like a burr mixer, I'm sorry, not a burr mixer, like a KitchenAid or something, and you had a paddle, I could see how you would overwork that. But with your hand, kind of take a while. And again, once we get this meat mixture ready, which is, you're gonna have signs of the Cajun being fully incorporated. You don't want to see a clump of salt anywhere, clump of green chili, clump of caramelized onions. I kind of want this to be all thoroughly combined. And then from there, we're not going to make our patties right away. We're going to let this sit for at least 30 minutes to an hour. We're only making 2 patties, so it's nothing crazy. And then from here, I'll make a test patty just to see what it's going to look like. So I've been doing this for quite some time, but I take it just so it fits in the palm of my hand. Right? Just so it fits in the palm of my hand. And I'll start making a circle, massaging it into this circle, using my thumb and my pinky finger and ring finger to kind of create this mold around the edge. And then I press that, and then we'll do the same thing, kind of keeping in mind to form a patty. And it looks like it's doing good. So this can just sit. We can just let this rest. We've worked that meat up, it tenses up. We can set this aside. All right, so here we have the beef that we set aside for our fancy burger, and it's going to be a lot less preparation considering the fact that we're just going to season it with salt and pepper. But the story behind this burger, and I call it the fancy burger, is because when I was in Los Angeles, there is a restaurant called Petit Trois La Mecque, and I was a young culinary guy trying to figure out all the ins and outs that I could, right? Like, oh man, I want everything that I touch needs to be fancy. And I came across this guy, Chef Ludo Lefebvre. I probably botched his name, but this guy is as French chefy as they come, but he's in love with American culture, pop culture. One of the things that he mentioned, or 2 of the things that he mentioned, is fried chicken and McDonald's. And to him, those are the must-haves. Like, you couldn't have or say that you ate American food if you didn't go and get some greasy fried chicken or go to a McDonald's and wait in line for a Big Mac. And to him, he wanted to recreate this and kind of dedicate, his chefdom and his way of being and, his kind of rock star way of life with McDonald's. Late night, you're drunk, you go and get 2 Big Macs, probably. Maybe even large French fries or something. Everybody's been there. And for him, it was Le Big Mac. And Le Big Mac was going to be this big burger. I think it's a full pound, so like 2 half-pound patties. Nice hard sear. They're cooked in cast iron, and then they're basted with like butter, thyme, rosemary, and like fresh garlic cloves. And then you've got some really high-end cheddar cheese that makes it really gooey, and then they do their own Demi Glaze in-house. And I mean, it's fantastic. You get this massive burger that you eat with a knife and fork, and it's called Le Big Mac. It's great. So we're gonna do a tribute to that here with our good beef. Again, it's going to be very simple because normally in fine dining environments, you really are just going off of your ingredients. You have quality ingredients, and for us, it's our meat. It's our meat. We're going to use a little bit of salt and pepper, and I showed you earlier, but this is the Demi Glaze that we do in-house. Gelatin looking, which is a good product. You want pretty much all that collagen and connective tissue to be rendered down, and over time you get this beautiful product called Demi Glaze. We cut ours with some Mirepoix red wine, there's a million ways to do a Demi Glaze. Ours is a little bit more traditional. Again, why I feel like Le Big Mac just fits. So I've got about half pound of beef here. Maybe this is about a tablespoon of kosher salt and pepper. I'm gonna go ahead and add all of that to the meat here. When you're dealing with like pre-seasoning, especially meat, you wanna, at least I believe you should add all the salt and pepper depending on, again, what the application is. In this case, we're gonna add Demi Glaze, cheddar cheese. We're gonna create a crust, add all this good stuff that I want this burger patty to be seasoned already. And again, this is the fun part where we're just mixing our meat. And I'm glad that we're doing this in this room because there can be many of jokes that are being had with me mixing my meat here. Especially with those line guys, they're ruthless. You can be a little bit harder with your meat. I will not judge how you decide to beat your meat here. I'm gonna go ahead and make a patty out of this, just so you can see the size of the patty. Another way that I like to cook burgers, and it's really popular right now, is a smash burger. And you'll make your ball, when you put it on your plancha, your grill, you'll take a spatula. I'm not going to do it on this board because it's going to just stick. Just press that meat really hard, and we'll show you in our next video where we're actually cooking the meat. But you just press it really hard from this ball state, kind of scrape it across the grill, and it's different than having medium rare or rare. It's the burger's going to come fully cooked, but I mean at the cost of flavor. So this is about the size of the patty. I'm going to flatten out. And again, you can use this technique for meatballs. You can really take this and use it in anything if you got ground beef. I have the patty like this. It's going to shrink up, but again, when we throw it on that grill, we're going to add a little bit of weight to it, press down on it. We'll make 2 of these. We'll have a nice little double stack, and we'll be in good eating there. We'll be ready to go. So that's the end of part 1, guys. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to see how we end up cooking the burger in part 2. Go ahead and leave a like and a comment down below on any other specialty burgers that you'd like to see us do here at Vernon's. Thanks.